Good morning and welcome back. I had started a couple of videos this week and never finished them, but I wanted to give an update about Aaron. So we took him to the doctor on Monday, and when I had looked at the CT scan results, it looked like everything seemed fine, but the surgeon didn't agree with that. He said that the bone graft, even though it's only out of place a little bit, would eventually cause issues for Aaron, because to do this surgery, it's on the outside of your foot, just underneath the ankle bone. They do an incision and split your heel bone. It's the cuneiform bone, I think. They split that and kind of drive a wedge-shaped piece of bone into that crack and hold it with plates and screws. And it seems like his natural bone has wanted to heal itself and kind of push that graft out. So it's sticking out just a little bit, but the issue is that around your ankle bone run two tendons, and those tendons run across this piece of bone. And so if we don't do anything to revise it, they said he'll have a lot of discomfort because those tendons will be rubbing across that piece of protruding bone all the time as he walks. So he is going to have a second surgery done. So on the 16th is Dan's and my 21st wedding anniversary, and that is the day that he and I are leaving and taking Elizabeth for her senior trip. A senior trip is something that we had decided a long time ago we would do with our kids, just kind of a short vacation, someplace they wanted to go during their senior year in our homeschool, before they go out into the real world and, you know, life gets busy, just to make memories and kind of share with them. And so we did it with Alex a few years ago. He wanted to go to Tennessee, so we spent a few days in Pigeon Forge with him, and now it's Elizabeth's turn. And so this has been on our schedule. So we are going to leave, like I said, that Thursday. Friday, we are going to see the college that she's planning to attend, doing a campus tour there. And then I think she wants to go down to Kentucky to the Creation Museum. And we're renting a car for this because our van does not get good fuel mileage and we don't have anything else that's really dependable for it. So we're renting a car and doing that, and then we'll start back on Sunday, be home hopefully around lunchtime on Monday, and then Aaron's surgery is going to be that Monday, the 20th. We just had them right in the schedule to schedule him last so that hopefully we are back. And if for some reason something gets pushed off and we're not able to make it back, then Dan's mom will be able to take him down for surgery while my mom stays with everybody else. So it's very busy, but it was like either do it then or he wasn't going to be able to fit him in at all. He actually canceled his clinical appointments, the surgeon did, for that day so that there was room to get Aaron in, because, you know, he's a kid and he has plans for summer. He's going to be volunteering and doing some work for people and all kinds of things. And so this is going to delay him walking. I had a phone call, but anyway, it will delay him walking by about 2 weeks. Usually, well, I guess 3 weeks. Usually he would start to bear weight this coming Monday. So it'll be 3 weeks out from that. 2 weeks out from surgery is what the surgeon's saying when he can start walking on the foot again. So that is what is going on with that. We have been busily cleaning up and things as it's been warmer, although the last couple of days have definitely not been warm. We're going to need to do some repairs to our garden. You can see it's kind of leaning there. I need to put that post in and prop it up. But yeah, we went through the garden a couple of days ago, and there had been all kinds of pieces of fabric hanging off of these cattle panels that we use to tie up the tomatoes and cucumbers, and we've been using it for like 3 years and had never taken those off, so I cleaned that all up. There had been a bunch of poles that had the same thing for trellising pepper plants in along this section, and I pulled them out and got that taken care of. Over here we made a pile of all the rocks that we used to mark the end of the rows. So we've been working on that. We're gonna weed eat this, I think, because it's so full. The nettles are fine, although they will overtake things. But we also have some other quote-unquote weeds in there, and some of them can be damaging, and so if we let them go to seed, it's going to be really hard to get rid of them. So we've been working on that. Let me show you what else we've been doing the last couple of days. This Saturday, my parents are coming, and we are going to we're going to replace our pressure tank, which is underneath our house in the crawl space. It's not going to be a fun job, but it has been there for about 50 years, and I told you guys in a few videos ago or whatever that it has been failing. It doesn't hold pressure. So because of that, we're having every once in a while, whenever we notice that the pump is kicking on for our well more often than it should, then you guys can walk, it's okay. We're having to completely drain all the water out of the pressure tank, drain the pressure away, and then refill it with an air compressor to the appropriate pressure, and it's just not holding. So our pump is working harder than it should, and we just replaced it a couple of years ago. It was really expensive, so we don't want to have to do that again. So my dad ordered the pressure tank from a plumbing supply place. He did plumbing as a job for a number of years, so he's fully capable of doing it. He ordered all of the fittings and gauges and all of that stuff and got a slight discount. I think what he paid was $642. So we're going to owe him that whenever they come. And then the only thing that I had to worry about ordering was like water heater insulation to go around it, since it is underneath the house, just as an added layer of protection. So I ordered that, and it should be coming tomorrow, which would be Thursday. While I was online and ordering things, I also ordered some things to touch up things in the house. So I can show you here in a little bit, but in our bathroom, we redid it 3 years ago, I think, completely gutted it, redid the studs on the walls, redid the flooring braces, redid all the wiring, all the plumbing, put up new drywall, everything a few years ago. And so, it's doing fine, except that's like the only room in our house except for our bedroom that has drywall in it, and having so many people in and out all the time, there's dings and stuff in it, and paint chipped and that kind of stuff. So I ordered putty to fill some holes, and I ordered from Lowe's a quart of the paint that we used. I knew the paint color and everything, and it's going to be delivered, which I didn't even know Lowe's did. And then I ordered paint for the kitchen ceiling. Since we only have 7-foot ceilings, they get really gross, and we don't have an exhaust fan. So if we fry anything or whatever, I think even if we had a fan though, it would still be dirty quickly just because it's so low and we do so much cooking. So we've tried to clean it, but it's like a textured paneling and it's not really easy to clean. So every few years we just have to go over it with white paint. So I ordered all of that stuff. So today I spent $115, or no, because 10 of it was a thing of Propel for Dan. So $105 on home repair, home maintenance, that kind of stuff. And then the $642 or whatever for the pump or the pressure tank and the fittings and everything. So like I said, my parents are coming for that, and my sister-in-law is coming on Saturday as well, and we're going to do senior pictures for Elizabeth. So we've got a lot going on. Today's Wednesday, tomorrow is errand day. Friday we're going to finally go do our thrift shopping that we didn't get to do last Friday because it was a holiday weekend. So hopefully I have a whole list of things that the kids need. Hopefully we can find most of that at the cheap thrift stores. So we kind of have today and just a little bit of time tomorrow and Friday to finish getting things cleaned up in the yard and in the house before we have company. And then Sunday, my mother-in-law is coming after church for dinner, so I had to figure that out too. And I've been working on my lists for town so that that's all done. So something else that we've been doing, or that we did, was this planter my dad made me for Christmas, and he had my daughter paint the windmill on the front, and it's a copy of the wooden shoes that belonged to my great-grandfather, who came to America from Amsterdam in 1926. So we wanted a place to display it, and we had this table, which was a whole circle, and it just had a plywood top on it that was really in bad shape. So as we were looking around trying to decide where we could put this planter that wasn't going to be on the ground, it wasn't going to be somewhere where it was going to get bumped and knocked around and stuff, I said to Dan, like, what about this table? So he cut it in half behind this second set of legs and welded a cross piece in there, and then put 2 pieces of treated 2x6 together for the top and cut the rounded part and just spray painted the whole thing. So he did that for me, and I think it looks good. And then we have been working, like I said, on getting the yard cleaned up, and it's still, we have a ways to go, but we were cleaning out this drain, started to clean that out. We still need to finish cleaning it out. There's a bunch of leaves there and a soda bottle that were shoved down in it. And then over here, we did have a fence because we'd had like a little garden thing here, but the cats just got in it and made a mess, and we couldn't keep it clean, and nothing really grew there. So we took that down. The only thing that's left is, this is a rose bush that Dan got me last year, and I think this is a volunteer of the fire bush that's over there, and I really don't want it there, but I can't get it out. So I keep cutting it down, but it just keeps coming back. So we've done that, and we were cleaning out the leaves from the whole way around the house. They just need to get taken to the woods, since it's never going to quit. The wind's never going to quit blowing, so we can burn them. So that is what we've been doing out here. My house is so quiet right now. The kids asked if they could play video games for their screen time today, and I said sure, as long as you go do it in the garage. So everybody's outside except for Emma. She writes songs, and she's recording one that she had just written. So she's doing that on the porch in the quiet, and I'm in the bathroom in the quiet. I washed my curtains yesterday for in here, so I'm gonna get that hung up and probably clean this a little bit. Usually Friday is my bathroom cleaning day, but I might just go ahead and do it today because Friday is going to be really busy. And I'm going to show you what I need to touch up in here as well. So it's such a small space, it's hard to show you. There's some spots here that need touched up where the hamper rubs up against it. And then here, people had belts hanging on here, and so it needs touched up the whole way around there. And then this little bitty wall between this part of the room and the shower has lots of touching up. My oldest son had tried to patch that one. And then this is a really big hole. And I think the reason is that people sit on the toilet and mess with it. Little kids especially. I'm hoping if I patch it completely, they won't mess it up again. But we shall see. And then here, this is where we hang our towel, and from it coming back and hitting, it just needs patched and touched up there. I think that's it. There might be a couple other small spots. Yesterday I painted this door trim, which had never been painted. It was just primed like the door is, and the door needs painted too. If I have enough paint left after I do the kitchen ceiling, then I'm going to go ahead and paint that. But for now, I'm just going to clean it. It just doesn't stay clean because it's just primer. So you can see the difference between the two. So once this is all painted white, I think it's going to be really nice. I went ahead and hung up the curtains. I know they're upside down. This is supposed to be the top hem so that this little bit is ruffly up at the top, but there's not a lot of space up there, and I think I just like it that way, a cleaner look. So that's done. We were cleaning the living room and dining room, and so Caleb wiped off all the chairs for me, and Evie mopped the floor. So we just have to push that back. Usually we have 2 chairs there, 3 on each side, and then 2 chairs here for 10 people. But Alex is very rarely here now, so I think we're going to push it the whole way back and just do 4, 3, and 2 and see how that works. And it'll just give us more walking room through here, because when a chair is out, it comes to like there when someone's sitting in it, so you really can't walk through there. And they got the living room all cleaned up. Apparently Aaron is not currently wearing his boot, so we better be careful. And there's just an apron left there from doing dishes. But this is the ceiling. I'm going to try to show you how, do you see how grimy it is just from cooking and stuff? And it's, like I said, this textured, it's not even really paneling, it's like a particle board kind of thing. So that's why I need to go ahead and repaint that. And really, I don't mind repainting it. It's quick and easy. I have some plastic drop cloths in the garage that I'll just kind of tack to the ceiling, like at the edge, so that it doesn't come onto other things, let it drape down across things. But anyway, it won't be a big deal. It won't be terribly difficult or messy, and I know that it will feel a lot better whenever it is done. So I don't know for sure if it's going to get done before this weekend. I would really like it to, but there's just lots of stuff going on. So while the kids are doing that, I think I might eat something. I had some oatmeal for breakfast, just like an instant packet, so that wasn't very many calories. And then at lunchtime I was reading reading history and science to the youngest 3 kids, and so I didn't eat well. We just had leftovers, and all I ate was some peas, cooked green peas, and I felt really full, but now I'm not feeling so full, so I might find something else and enjoy eating it in the quiet. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll go outside and go for a walk for a little bit, unless my paint and stuff arrives, but I kind of anticipate that being later on today. So it's the next day, and I'm going to go ahead and close out this video, but before I do, I'm going to show you the painting that we got done this morning and how that's looking. So I'll end with that, and I will see you guys very soon. So here is the ceiling now. I think it's dry, so I don't know if I'll need to go over any of that at all. And then we did the door frame and the front of the door, and we did the patching. It's still drying, and this one I'll still have to paint again, and then the back side of the door. So that's what it's looking like so far. I didn't do a second coat on this yet, it's still wet, but the front of the door does have the second coat on. So I'm really happy with the way that it's looking. It went fairly quickly, and so I'm gonna see you guys soon. Bye.